let's take this conversation much further here on the programme now, crossing live to Armando Mema, a former candidate for the European Parliament in Finland and a member of the Finnish National Conservative Freedom Alliance Party, joining us now live from Helsinki. It's just about nearly 10 past 10 in the morning. Armando, a very warm welcome to you. I'm so excited to get you on the programme today. Thank you and welcome to this programme.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. The story, as you just heard it from our reporter there, Murad Gazdiev, Poland has just officially opened the door for the deployment of NATO troops on its territory after essentially blaming Russia for being the one for escalating tensions inside Europe, while it already has foreign boots on the ground there. Armando, what is your reaction to this latest development, please?
Yes. So we are seeing now very dangerous rhetoric from mainly EU leadership in Europe. I don't think personally it is Russia who is sending the drones in the border with Poland, inside Poland. Sorry. I think this is a desperate attempt from Zelensky regime to escalate and drag the conflict to another level, which personally I find it absurd that the EU leadership instead knowing very well that these drones may not be from Russia, but maybe you know, like either the GPS is jammed and those drones are diverted, or which this is my personal opinion, Zelensky is in a very difficult military position and is trying to get as much as help possible from NATO. So is trying to bring the conflict to another level.
So what you're describing, Armando, what you're describing is essentially a false flag. Could you help me understand that?
Yes. So we have seen this happening already in at the beginning of the conflict, where this is not the first time that this kind of incident is happening in Poland. It happened also 2 years back, if I remember correctly. And also at that time, the EU leadership was like blaming Russia for that. And yes, I honestly believe this is, you know, Zelensky is in a difficult situation on the ground and is like trying to get NATO involved, and it is very dangerous.
Yeah. Armando, if I can just call you out on one of the comments you've made in the recent past. You said once, our corrupt elite wants to portray an invisible enemy at any cost to justify the billions invested in weapons. We seriously need to unite against the warmongers. Now, European leaders say it's Putin. He's the warmonger. You're turning the tables and saying, no, it's the guys in Europe. Help me understand your comment, please.
Yes, so the EU leadership has to justify the tremendous amount of billions that they want to spend in increasing the military budget, about 800 billion. And so, of course, they need to justify this rhetoric that we need to prepare for some sort of conflict, and they have to portray. You know, I usually say, who needs a political opposition party when you can blame you know, Putin for all the problems? You can say. As they are doing, and personally, I think I've seen from Putin leadership a very restrained and diplomatic efforts in the past years. He has been trying to constantly try to find a way of dialogue with Europe, and it's happening. Unfortunately, it's happening that from our side in Europe, we are not showing that much effort in diplomatic solutions.
Yeah, yeah, well said, Armando. You know, the Finnish president also jumped on the whole blame it on Russia bandwagon with the whole drones being spotted in the region, saying, quote, the line before war and peace has been blurred. Armando, while NATO states are shipping weapons to Ukraine to continue a proxy war, hasn't the line already been crossed? We keep seeing Putin saying Russia is ready for a peaceful settlement. But every time Putin says that, the European leadership says, no, 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 we can't trust him. More weapons, more cash to Kiev. How do you understand those positions?
Yeah, so I think we have been ourselves, we have been drawing very much. We have gone over red lines many times. At the beginning of the conflict, was unthinkable to send, for example, fighter jets to Ukraine. This was considered to be an act of war toward Russia. And we have seen through these past years an increasing of crossing those red lines. So I will not get surprised that at certain point Zelensky will be asking also for nuclear weapons, because it seems there is no limit to the demand coming from Kiev, and it seems there is no limit from the amount of support that Europe wants to put in this proxy war. So I find it very dangerous for the reason that not only the relationship are deteriorating to the worst possible point, but you know, if it were another kind of leadership, it will not have tolerated this kind of red lines.
Yeah.
Sending long-range missiles, fighter jets. You know, I think we should take very seriously when Foreign Minister of Russia Lavrov said that we will consider those fighter jets as if they are hosting nuclear weapons inside. So, because of course, from the military point of view, those fighter jets can technically carry nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So the question here is where, like, Russian position has been clear from the very beginning. They want to defend national security. They don't want more expansion of military toward their borders, and they want a solution to this conflict. So they, from our position, it doesn't seem clear where exactly we are heading to, where exactly what we want to head to. So I find it not consistent in terms of what the EU leadership does want at this point.
Well, none of it seems to be rooted in fact, as in what's really happening on the battleground. I mean, look, I think it's fair to say a lot of military analysts, Armando, say that the whole proxy war against Russia has already been lost. It's already failed, and now it's a war of attrition. And Russia will last an awful lot longer than the EU. The EU, they now say that it's, what, 150, 170 million euros a day that Ukraine is spending to fight Russia. They're now saying they need 170 billion for the next 1 year of fighting. We know that Europe is bankrupt, perhaps not just financially, but morally these days. The proxy war has failed, Armando. What is it going to take for the European leadership to just come forward and say, you know what? We've lost. What's that going to take?
Yes, I think it's gonna take the total defeat of Ukraine. So my position has been we need to save what's left of Ukraine, and we need to find a diplomatic solution, because there cannot be a military solution to this conflict.
Yeah.
So the risk here is that unless we accept the fact that Ukraine is in a very bad condition, it cannot continue the fight without the support of NATO and the EU countries. We have to accept, you know, this conflict, in my opinion, goes back to history. So we have we have to accept that we had made a terrible mistake in Ukraine. We shouldn't have pushed for Ukraine NATO membership up to this extent. And unless we work seriously with peace, I think that the risk is that there's going to be a total defeat of Ukraine. And you will exclude also possibilities of having Ukraine into EU membership and this kind of thing. So unless we understand this, then Ukraine will be in a much more worse situation than it is right now.
Yeah.
And I said this from the very beginning when the conflict started. We need immediately to work for peace, you know, the problem here in Europe is we are not understanding the value of peace. After many years from the Second World War, it seems we have lost memory of the past, and this, in my opinion, is the most dangerous thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very, very strong comment there. And now we're kind of run around the world by these multinational corporations making billions off these hotspots around the world. So many people now are saying that the Ukraine conflict is now more of a money laundering operation for European states. And yet you made a great comment some time ago. You said, Armando, quote, Russia does not want to fight Europe. It wants to restore dialogue and business, as well as prevent further expansion of the military presence near Russia's borders. Armando Mema, you've got some very brave words out there today. I love how you're essentially going against the mainstream orthodoxy, the mainstream narratives, and I commend you for being brave enough to really come out and speak the truth. Armando Mema, a former candidate for the European Parliament in Finland and a member of the Finnish National Conservative Freedom Alliance Party. Thank you so much for joining us here on RT International.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.